It's time to do a new program I've been talking about doing, and one of my new friends here, Spoofenstein, said, "Hey, why don't you break down, take a look at my build?" And we're going to make a video just looking at his build. I haven't looked at it, so here it is. So we can see he's got the breakdowns of the reds, a lot of blues, and only one skill there. Let's see what his weapons are. He's got a Scorpio, and he's proficient at it, but he hasn't leveled it up. But he's optimized everything. Everything's really tight, best it can be, except the efficiency level. So Scorpio, one of the top guns in the game, no doubt. Tactical 45. He was talking about this before we got on the channel here and brought to you live, and he really likes this. So I'm going to have to check it out and really see how much it does. 121.8k damage with the RPMs up. See what attachments he's got on there. He's got strained as the ability, which is gain the 10% hit damage for every 5 seconds you're firing, and it stacks up to 5 times. So somebody that's heavy on the trigger like me, that ability strained really works. Somebody that's popping off single shots, strain's not for you. So he's got the accuracy on the long rail. He's got the plus 20 rounds but a lower reload speed. He's got the crit hit chance of 5% and accuracy. Now I tend to go a little less on the accuracy or not at all, and I like those to be crit chance or crit damage, especially crit damage, to get as much crit in there as possible. Of course, going to his build, he's got the Bellstone Armory. Looks like he's just got one there, so he's going to have that 1% armor regen. Add that with the regen that's already optimized on here. He's got the hazardous protection rolled on here, and armor and kill. So as long as he's getting those kills, he's going to be getting armor back on a regular basis. Going to his backpack, he's got opportunistic on here, which works only with the marksmanship rifle and the shotgun, which he is running the Scorpio. Great combination there. Do you do a lot of headshots with your Scorpio? Okay. Well, that's because your headshot done. I like headshot damage myself, being a sniper-based player for so long. I like the headshot damage because as long as you're getting the headshots in, it's going to proc that damage. Where crit damage is capped at 60% of the time. So 40% of the time or more, you're not going to be critting. You're not going to get that extra damage. But as long as you get those headshots, like my sniper, I either miss or it's a headshot. Very rarely do I maybe catch a shoulder, or the AI says, no, you didn't hit the head. I heard the skull crack, Yeah, you can experiment. The good thing about that, you can take those on and put it right back off. So if you take it off and now the gun just is unwily, you can always go back and do it. It's not like you ruined the gun. It's not like you optimized it and now you're stuck with it. You can interchange those. So on the backpack, we got the tartar grade. Now when you're running the raids, you're running in a great group, it's great to always have somebody with tardigrade in your party, because when anybody's breaks their armor, gets just those hits, they just get down into their actual health, everybody in the party gets the bonus armor to proc. Everybody, just for having one of these guys in your team. So it's always great to have a teammate that's running tardigrade. And then we have this 3-piece Negotiator's Dilemma, which the 3-piece is going to give him the crit chance and the crit damage. But you see, it's only highlighted. Even though he's have 3, there's a glitch in here that it's not highlighting his crit hit damage. So you gotta work. Does it? Okay. And then down here he's got a Restorer Hive, which is going to keep him healthy, and it looks like he's got a Striker's Drone. Now, the Striker gets him looking in other ways, and sometimes it's great, but when I'm trying to get the headshot and they're moving around from getting hit from the Striker, I'm not a fan of the Striker. The other thing is, I've had Strikers for teammates, and when I run them, go way off in the distance, and I need them up where I'm in your face, or I'm way back sniping. I'm not usually in between. I'm either right up there, or I'm way back in the rear with gear, taking heads off. And so I'm not the biggest fan of the Striker, but I know other people do. And there are times that I really, hate the Striker when I'm trying to get that headshot. But there's other times I'm like, oh, thank God the Strikers drew their attention, drew their aggro, and they're not looking at me. So I like the turrets better, because I can put them on the sides of me to kind of basically denial. So when I hear the whine of somebody getting lit up by the fire, or I hear the gun start going off, or I got the Stinger Hive to my left or right, if I throw the Stinger Hive to the left and the turret to the right, I know my flanks are covered. If I start hearing the stingers go off, I know to swing left. And if I hear the turret going off, I know to swing right. Those are little things that I do in the game that kind of helps me, especially when I'm sniping and I'm in a scope. Your peripheral vision is really, it's not there because you're in the scope. So those kind of things help me out on my sniper builds or my long range, like if I'm using focus. So those are all things you can use, but obviously other people have proven that this is a solid combo. It's not something out of left field. Those are all good to go. And the signature weapon being more skilled based, I don't like using it as much. I'm not a big fan of the guided missile. I pull the trigger a lot of times and it don't want to go, or it pops 2 or 3 off and I'm like, that's a red, the first one's going to kill him, I just wasted 2 shots. It's not the TAC 50, which is awesome, and it's not the explosive build that just blows 6 people up at the same time, but it's the benefits of running it. A lot of builds you need to run it to give the extra bonuses, like the if you're going to run the spotter, attachment, if you got the rails on the gun to put the spotter attachment, so all you got to do is point at the guy and then they're being scanned. But 1.1 armor is kind of light on armor these days. A lot of people try to run about 1.3, 1.4. But again, I'm a big fan. If you make any build work, that build is your build, and don't let anybody say otherwise. That also means that, you know, don't be so close-minded to find out the meta is the meta for a reason. You know, when somebody calls Heartbreaker the meta, or the Hunter's Fury the meta, it's because it works. When you do it that way, it is OP, it is overpowered, it is broken, it is whatever you want to call it. So that's a breakdown. Solid build, little different. I haven't seen a build out there on Videoland that is exactly like this. It's a unique build. I have always built, when I build my builds, I like going 2 to 4 pieces, but sometimes the 3 is what you need. What does the 4-piece negotiators do? If he went with one of these being a 4th negotiators, would it be worth it? And the bonus on the negotiator's dilemma would be that he would get crit marks the enemies for 20 seconds up to 3 marks. When you get a critical hit, mark the enemy, the other marked enemies take 60%. So like if you're doing a machine gun and you're spraying everybody, this can really do a lot of damage, but that's not his. He's taking out one at a time with a shotgun, I would assume, with his weapons. So not having 4 pieces is probably the best build for this, the way he has it. Solid build, and I'm glad that you're the first one to do that. It's something I've been thinking about doing on the channel, is letting other people kind of show off their favorite build, or the build they run the most at the current time, and see if somebody else wants to mess around and see if they want to run something like that. It's not my build, and the cool thing out is it's very unique. So there you got it. Spoofenstein on Xbox. This is his build. Seems to be solid. I played a few rounds with him, and he did phenomenal kills, great damage, held his own. Went down a few times when we really got messy, because the Guardians is, you have to do that. You have to get crazy and try to go after the yellows, and sometimes you get flanked, or you get overwhelmed, but that's part of that teamwork. And so there it is, fans. Spoofenstein's Negotiator's Dilemma, running the Scorpio. Solid build. And check out that tactical UMP45. I'm going to be checking it out as well. This is Bear Essentials. We're going to go back to the live stream, so we're going to end this video. And thumbs up. Peace out, brothers.